Hope everybody's caught their breath after a very long weekend. And a good Thanksgiving, we hope.
Yeah.
Despite maybe some outcomes for Canadian sports teams. I'm Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Derek Brandeo, Jen Rolnick.
I can't even get
We are
2 seconds
live on SportsNet 360. I'm going to do this really slow so we can just stay on that shot of Sammy. SportsNet 650 in Vancouver, 960 in Calgary, and streaming on SportsNet Plus. Plus, you can catch us when you don't catch us live, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. Picture went viral, Sammy, of you sniffing something. I don't know what you were sniffing.
Poison. So I don't have to experience the rest of that baseball game was what I was hoping
you
for.
and Bunkus,
Yeah.
our boy JD from
JD Bunkus podcast.
Yep.
Leave stock.
Took in the game, and there was there was a camera. Our cameras caught you. Now, I didn't watch this live. I missed it.
Mm-hmm.
Did they say, oh, and there's Sammy McKee from Real Kyper and Bourne show? Did they do that? Did they font you? Did they?
No, you know what they said? Dan Schulman said, it's tense.
It's funny is,
Buddy, what's that say about you that you've worked for Sportsnet now on a national show for 4 years?
Yeah.
We're going in our fifth.
Yeah.
And they don't know who the hell you are.
Listen, that's fair. I think it's just I got to get my profile up around here. I'm happy I wasn't picking my nose or staring at my phone. Like that guy is locked in. I'm a ball knower. I'm locked into the game. I care.
I got a buddy who has a Shih Tzu with anxiety that looks like that, just chewing on a towel, just trying to get through the day.
The towel is great because you can just kind of like hide your face the entire time and you can like kind of grab on it and do everything. But listen, I was built for days like today. This is how I came up in Toronto sports media. All my teams
talk about Toronto failures.
All my teams always lose. I was built for today, boys. Built for it.
For those of you that been sleeping under a rock, the Toronto Blue Jays losers, big losers to the Florida Panthers.
Nope.
The Florida Panthers?
Seattle Mariners.
Did it not feel like a Florida Panther loss in Game 5 or Game 7?
Here's
Did it not?
No,
Did it
great.
not?
No, you nailed it.
Here's what I'll say.
It's the Florida Panthers.
You can't. I mean, the thing with baseball is it's really hard to be like, oh, they didn't show any heart.
Right.
You know, it's like they hit the pitching and the Jays couldn't hit their pitching and whatever. But I think there's a parallel between a team that has historically owned a Toronto team and, Cal Raleigh, who is officially the Toronto Blue Jays papa. Like, he owns them. He's owned them forever in that wild card series. He had big home runs. He's going to be the MVP this year. Parallels with him and like little Sam Bennett action, sort of Marchand kind of thing. They're just better. They're better so far.
Okay, Steve Valiquette's going to join us in a few minutes. I want to throw this out there because I think you guys had a conversation outside the door with Mike, who produces.
Oh, Gentile, yeah. Gents. My co-host in the summer. I know you listen all the time.
No. And I didn't get into it, but it went around kind of the same thing I feel, okay? And that is that when I watch the Jays celebrate the division or a wild card and
this is so.
No. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but it has to be said.
This is the oldest guy take ever.
No, it's.
They do it in every series.
They do every team, every series does the exact same thing. I'm not doing this.
I didn't see Seattle act like the Jays.
They had to go get on a plane.
I don't care. And they ended up being focused and businesslike. And our guys looked like they were filming Hangover 4.
Okay, here's what I'll say. Jen, if you could put up that picture again, this is how I feel about that take. Because it's just like, oh my God, that's what I feel. It's like, oh.
They won their World Series.
Every team does it. Yeah, they beat the Yankees on their home field. It was a big deal. Everyone was excited, except you, I know, who says, like, well, it doesn't matter.
But it's physically exhausting to party that hard.
Oh, yeah,
it's physically exhausting.
The professional athletes couldn't recover 3 days later to go play a base. Listen, they couldn't hit their pitching.
That's if they stopped partying.
Their batting average on balls in play and talking to
Just
Sammy
don't look like you've been partying for 3 days straight then. How about that?
atrocious.
Listen.
Okay. Just don't look like it.
This is an easy take to have when they lose 2 games at home. It's
don't
an easy
look
take to
like
have.
it.
Listen, there's low-hanging fruit, and you picked it right off the tree. It's fine.
Okay.
It's fine.
That's all right. I see a Seattle team that looks businesslike.
Or maybe they're just better.
So
Okay.
far,
Is that
tough
thought
to
process
argue.
mine?
Hey, they're better at looking businesslike.
Oh, God.
That's all.
Right. All right.
It
Let's
was
talk
a
about
All right,
it.
listen.
disheartening couple of
I
baseball
hope I hope they can come back and make a series of it. Okay?
I do too.
I want them to for sure. I'm a fan, but
I think
I'm
you like
sorry.
seeing me upset.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
come on, guys. You can't be humiliated like that. You can't do that to Sammy. Every team cannot make this guy look and feel like the biggest loser out there when the stage is at its biggest.
I didn't like Gosman coming out when he came out, like a lot of people. Disappointed that
Listen, it was you can make that choice if you want, but you can't go to Brandon Little. And I thought yesterday people were saying they should have left Savage in there. Savage's the velocity was dipping. He wasn't sharp the entire time. I thought they should have taken him out to start the inning. Anyways,
all right.
a lot of baseball left, boys. Don't let him win tomorrow.
In a few minutes, we're going to welcome in Steve Valiquette, analyst for the New York Rangers, and of course, CEO Clearsight Analytics. Vancouver had a tough game last night.
Canada
the Leafs
had
had a tough weekend against Detroit. Ottawa didn't look very good against Nashville at all.
Brady Tkachuk's out 4+ week hand. That's a big story to me. Like that,
Yeah.
that has a massive effect on the Sens who are looking to, vie for home ice in the playoffs and take that next step. They got to do it without their heart and soul. That's going to be interesting to follow. Big news in Montreal. They signed Kent Hughes and Jeff Gordon and Lane Hutson and everyone else who they think is going to be a part of their next Stanley Cup.
Man, I hate how well run they are.
I
I
think
got to tell you, that cap sheet's pretty. It's really pretty.
there's a few people thinking Lane Hutson gave him a break with the numbers escalating for star players. He ends up signing under $9 million on an AAV.
How do you get less than Luke Hughes, and why do you give 8 years?
8.85. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's in a contract till he's 30.
I'm split right down the middle. Good contract for Montreal
Great contract for Montreal.
and good
Kudos.
contract for Lane Hutson.
Well, listen, when you haven't made money yet, nice to take $70 million.
And we did the exhibition game. We did the exhibition game against Toronto where I couldn't say enough nice things about Lane Hutson.
He's a star.
He is a star. He's got potential to be a star. And I said he does things out there that can look and feel at times like a Cale Makar and a Quinn Hughes. But at the end of the day, he's still 5'8" and 150 pounds.
165. Thank you
No,
very much.
no, if he's 160,
Wearing a weight vest?
if he's 160, I'll be shocked.
I remember you comparing him to Victor Mete last year, potentially.
Well, stature.
Wait, when you come in and you play 20 minutes in your first 5 or 10 games, you are compared to Victor Mete.
Yeah.
You are. You don't know for sure how it's going to end up. And I do the same thing all over again. You just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And clearly, he's going to be a top, exciting player to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're staring at $70 million over 8 years and you are one cross-check into the boards away from having everything shut down, take your $70 million.
But, can't you take 50 and do it for 5 years? 6 years? You know what I mean?
No,
take
you're
the
not
crack
leaving.
at the...
If he gets hurt, which guys that size tend to get hurt,
I know,
right?
he's like Patrick Kane. You can't hit him.
No,
Mitch Marner.
no,
you
he's a
can't hit him.
defenseman. First of all, he's a defenseman, and you can at times.
Yeah.
But I think it's a good contract. At the end of the day, I think it's. I see why he took the 8 years.
Yeah.
And the $70 million.
Is it the $70 million? Is that why you see it? Yeah.
I think it's kind of at a sweet spot now where there's these huge advantages for these general managers to sign these guys to these long-term contracts. But there's also the advantage for the guy who's signing it that it is literally $70 million.
Right. No, sure.
Where it's like,
I get why they do it.
It's like, I could sign this for $70 million right now. Or like Kyper said, risk injury, do all this stuff, and sign for $100 million in 4 years.
But
it's like, it's still 70 schmil.
But if you get injured on a 5-year contract for $50 million or...
It's not 1920 anymore. They're going to be able to fix your knee.
Yeah,
Like, you're going to come back.
Well, yeah.
Unless your
and even
leg
if
falls
not,
off.
You've made 50.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you have the chance. To me, it's just the I just think they're leaving a lot of money on the table. But again, a lot of people at home going, who cares if it's 70 or 90? Well, some people do, but.
All right, how's our boy Valley? Is he ready?
I don't know. Has anybody said anything to you?
I don't know. You're the producer.
I haven't
just
heard any such
Nod.
things.
They usually say Valley's ready in my ear, and then
Yeah.
they usually say it to you too around the same time. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's ready yet. Kachuk out sucks for the Sens.
Yeah.
That's a blow.
So he got thrown in the boards.
Well, he was upset at nothing. He got a push above the goal line from Roman Josi and had an awkward fall.
And had an awkward fall.
Yeah.
But it upset him, obviously. He started kind of running around a little bit.
Yeah. He's looking for someone to point the
Yes.
finger at about it. And
Yeah.
which is
So
fine.
we assume
Don't blame him.
he cracked something. He broke something.
Yeah, he was immediately looking like Santander in the outfield after the diving miss.
Yeah.
Just looking at the thumb, giving it the whole. So, yeah, we'll await details on that.
Okay. With that on the Ottawa Senators and more, let's welcome in Steve Valiquette, who was kind enough to join us today. We weren't sure with your busy schedule,
We get handsome
but
Valley today.
looking as handsome as ever, as JB just mentioned. How are you, pal?
Doing very well, boys. Here for you.
All right.
And I'll get the train when I get the train.
Okay, so let's stay on Lane Hutson here for a minute here because he committed to a contract where I don't know if it really reflects the new money coming in and whether or not he was able to hit the high level here of what we've seen so far. Did he give Montreal a break? More importantly, your thoughts on Lane, and will he ever get to a Cale Makar or a Quinn Hughes status, or will he just be underneath that for you?
I'd be pretty biased, Kyper, because I've skated with him quite a bit, and I love the kid. So going back about 4 years, he was one of my shooters when I'm doing my goalie training in New Jersey. His dad was running one of the rinks up there. There's a billionaire that has a $10 million hockey rink in his backyard that I go to there. It's all mahogany, marble. It's just gorgeous. And so,
Right?
What do you hang with us for?
so funny story. Going back, this would have been around 2012. I just stopped playing, received an email from somebody. I answered it back like I always do. And he said, look, I've got a rink at my house. Would you come skate with my son? And I go out there and I thought it was going to be just a rinky dinky like bubble. A lot of the guys in Westchester have those in Greenwich, still expensive, but it's not the real deal. Anyhow, I get to this one. This guy's got a 60,000 square foot house. He's got the big pool house. It's a rig that is, it's the neutral zone all the way down, like full width. It's just got this beautiful viewing area. And first thing I say to myself is, God, this kid's going to suck.
Overcompensation with the cash.
Right? It turns out the kid ends up going Division I. I coached him for 10 years. I went there 3 days a week. But Lane Hutson was one of the shooters there. And, I saw him the first time and he was, imagine what he looked like when he was 14 years old, 15 years old. He just looked so young. He looked 12. And the guys were saying to me, they're like, this kid is nasty. Like, wait till you see him on the ice. And we would play 3-on-3 and he'd just be lighting the thing up. And I'm like, this guy's a number 1 pick. Now he went in the second round, and look, as far as the money, 70 million, I guess the total pack is, what would you do? I mean, I would take it. I know that it's leaving money on the table. The reason why I would take it is just due to injury and what could honestly happen at any moment. I mean, the hit by the bus syndrome, I don't know. For me, I'd take the money. 70 million, I'd take it. I don't know if I'd risk it. But there is also, and I don't know enough of this to just speak to it, but you could insure it too, right, guys? Like, he could insure himself up to a pretty big amount if he did bet on himself and wait until the end of his contract. I don't know if that.
Well, again, you assume Connor McDavid insured himself probably,
on the table.
right? Yeah.
You're saying beyond his 2-year extension,
Yes.
he'd be insured?
Yes. I would bet Connor McDavid's covered for $75 to $100 million.
Old Lloyd's of London.
Right.
Oh, can we hear him? Yeah.
Are we good?
We got Valley? Okay.
Yeah, I think we just dropped the Zoom. That's all. Valley, you're still with us, right?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
That's
I'm here.
okay.
Yep.
Oh,
There you are.
We got him. All right.
Sorry, boys. Yeah, I saw that on my screen here. We'll keep it going. I don't know. Sammy hasn't dropped any of these all year. He's having a good year. I might be the first one.
Love that we assume Sammy does anything sitting over there.
Not a whole
All
lot.
right, where do you want to go?
All right, so yeah, let's keep it in Canada if we can here. The Ottawa Senators are going to rely big time on Allmark to be good. Not sure that's happened yet this year. This contract that he's got, like they bet some real money that they're going to have a backbone goaltender for the Ottawa Senators. Is it in him still? Like, is this a guy that can be what they need him to be?
You know, Borny, I learned this, probably my third or fourth year pro because I was starting to get comfortable in the American Hockey League. But you're not any good if you just put your gear on and expect to just be a player without putting in sometimes the preparation and the intensity that's required to play at a high level.
Yeah.
Like I'm watching Thatcher Demko this weekend.
Ooh.
I'm watching Saros this weekend. And these guys are playing with such intensity that they look like, they're the dog on the bone. And when I watch Allmark, as skilled as he is, he never looks like he has that level of intensity that would allow his skills to show up in its greatest form. Mm-hmm. And that's why the leaky ones are going through right now. I think that he's so good at the sport that he gets away with letting his talent carry him rather than having the intensity that's required to really be at his best, at the highest performer that he could be. And I think it's going to be, look, I remember talking to you guys about this in October last year. This guy is going to make everybody in that organization pull their hair out. And I think it's already happening. And, we'll see how this goes. I just never liked the contract. I didn't like it because it was...
His goals saved above expected. I think he's dead last. I mean, is there some stats that, he could be better than they're actually telling us?
No, not at all. He's right at the bottom on everything. And you know what, though, Kyper? This has actually been funny. No, really. It's been a funny year a little bit, too. I mean, it's been a week, right? It's been a week. Yeah. But it was a funny first week in the NHL, I thought, because you look at the goalies, and I went through the list this morning that are off to a bad start, and typically the top guys get going right away because that's why they're the top guys. When the games matter in the beginning of the season, which home openers are big games for guys. Like, I remember guys getting sick before the home opener and being surprised, but teammates that had won Stanley Cups would say to me, like, Valley, it's a home opener. Like, it's the biggest game of the regular season in a lot of cases until you get right to the end. Now, Stolarz is right there. I mean, as far as a bad save percentage for him at 866, Ottinger, Wolf, Sorokin. Sorokin looked really bad the other night when I watched his game against Washington. Doesn't look himself. Vasilevsky doesn't look himself at all. 859 right now. And Allmark's he's an 842. So there are top goalies that are very talented and skilled, but haven't found themselves yet. And oftentimes I think it's just they haven't hit the intensity button. Mm-hmm. But again, when you watch Saros or Demko this weekend, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are just incredible. They're at their mid-season form right now. Yep. Demko against the Oilers was all world. I mean, he had 9 high danger chances against in that game. The Vancouver Canucks had 0. They didn't have a single high danger chance on Edmonton's net. Whoops. I don't even know what they're doing.
So just to follow off the starters now, if some of these guys do not get the starts that they're hoping here, how much pressure is there on who's backing them up? And I'll go to Calgary with Dustin Wolf now, and who's behind him is the Cooley.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, Devin Cooley.
And it's not Vladar. And how does that change the dynamics of pressure on a guy who just signed a huge contract and is expected to be one of the best players every time he puts the pads on?
Yeah, look, I think that here's the dangerous thing with Wolf. He's not getting insulated starts to start the season. He played back-to-back this past weekend, right? It was Edmonton, Vancouver, back-to-back. After that long Edmonton game with the shootout, he plays the next day in Vancouver. And look, I looked at last year, his starts in October, November, December, and Dan Vladar really insulated him well because what happened was, where's my list right here? I wrote down that Dustin Wolf in his first 19 games played against 4 playoff teams, and Vladar played against 10.
Wow.
They were splitting, they were going back and forth, but Vladar basically got every difficult game. And there's nothing harder than, being a goalie partner when you're the senior guy and you're seeing the young guy get all the what's the word? Bourne
Accolades.
Accolades.
Yeah.
Getting all the accolades, and you're kind of sitting there and you're saying, all right, am I even going to get my net back? Now, this year they're going to go all in on Dustin Wolf, but I think the biggest issue that he has right now is at his size, when you're making your second lap around the league and everybody's noticing there's a little more room upstairs. You saw Mangiapane beat him over the shoulder. Robert Thomas beat him over the shoulder the other night. And I was looking at the one thing that when you're looking at size and net, where does it hurt you sometimes? It hurts you when you're really having to reach or extend to try and make a save with your leg that the other guy can just get a couple more inches on. But it also hurts upstairs because you can miss with your glove. You could go for it with your glove if you're a big guy and still get a piece of it with your shoulder. And I think that Wolf, when I'm watching him play right now, he's caught in between sometimes trying to go for it with his shoulder or go for it with his glove. And last year in the NHL, the goalies that were giving up the most goals over the glove were all the smaller goalies. It was Georgiev, it was Saros, it was Wolf. And Merzlikins was on that list. I had somebody else. But, it seemed to me that I was kind of, caught up in, all right, how much does size really matter? It does when there's a book on you.
Right.
And he gave up a lot of goals over his glove last year. Devin Cooley is a really big goalie. Cooley, you guys will remember, he was the guy that played that really big game for San Jose a couple of years ago when they beat Seattle. He had 49 saves. And he said, what's the big deal about my performance tonight? We're all going to die anyway.
Yeah, that's right, too. I forgot about that.
So he was having a banger of a year last year. In January, he got a concussion. He was leading the American Hockey League statistically and everything. But by the time they got to the playoffs, he was actually a healthy scratch. He never really fully recovered from his concussion. So he's the backup right now. He might be on the same length of rope I was on when I was backing up Henrik, which is one start at a time.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling, guys. I didn't get my first start, my second full year until the 16th game of the season in Toronto. Okay. Can you imagine the pressure and how much of a narrative that becomes, right? Because if you're in Calgary and they go back to back this week and the first weekend of the season and they use Wolf back to back, and now the backup's sitting there like, should I not be playing the second half of the back to back? I do think you'll see Cooley against Utah. Calgary has another back to back coming up. And I'm telling you, the guy can play. He's a big guy, 6'5". He can move. He can move almost as well as Wolf. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of whether or not he's all the way there. Again, coming off of what I heard was a very serious concussion that he had a hard time coming back from.
Right. So looking at some of the early returns around the league for these goaltenders, Cam Talbot has off to a great start. Last year, my boy David Amber was saying he should be on Team Canada, really liked him. Here he's off to another good start, but they paid John Gibson. They traded for and paid John Gibson, right, to be their starting guy now. I think Gibson has according to Money Puck anyway, the 4th worst expected goal saved above expected. Do you think that Talbot will be the guy getting the bulk of the starts there?
Well, when I saw, I was watching the game last night, and the one thing Toronto did in that game, Bourne, was, man, the favor of nice shots on goal before they even had a scoring chance.
And you hate those distance warm-up shots, eh?
You can't do it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. You let Talbot right in that game, especially an experienced goalie. I think his first 12 shots were clear-sighted. And the shots were 23 to, 9 or 10. And it's 2-1 for Detroit. I'm like, guys, now you're starting to create some offense, but it's too late. Don't start the game with 10 or 12 feelers. I thought that he looked big and he was able to get out. And I also thought that the Leafs on first touch, they're not getting the puck off their stick fast enough.
Yep.
And I think that's the biggest thing with goal scoring nowadays. You need to elevate the puck, but you can't receive it, drop your jaw, pick your head back up, corral it once, get it to where you want it and shoot it. It doesn't work. These guys, you can just put pause on your screen and see the goalie on the other side of the net and the puck's on the player's stick, by the time they corral it and shoot it, the goalie's back in frame and he's staring at you, salivating because you're making it easy on the goalie now.
That's Ovi's greatest strength as a shooter, right? He just hits it when it gets close to him.
Well, pardon me, who? Sorry.
Ovechkin, for years. He just hits it.
Exactly. Ovechkin, great example. For me, Austin puck is spending too much time on Austin's stick. He's got to get it off quick again. Sometimes there's an ego there. I remember Patrick Laine went through it for a while, guys, where everybody was talking about him when he first came in the league as he was one of the best shooters. But then he kind of read his own press clippings a little too much and started waiting. Even when the goalie was screened, he would wait for that screen to move out of the way so he could get a clean look at the goalie and try and beat him clean, almost with ego. And you lose your advantage there. You need to, as Austin has done so well over the years, shoot through the screen. And Patrick Laine has gone through it. Last year had a lot of success off his one-timer again because, again, it's on and off the stick. Plus, when it's on and off the stick like that, you're getting rebounds. You're going to get rebounds because the goalie's in motion across the crease and he's going to spray pucks. You're going to get more broken plays. I think the game always boils down to a half a second. And the goalies are trying to capture it. The shooters shouldn't allow them to capture it.
You're watching and listening to Steve Valiquette, analyst with the Rangers on MSG and CEO Clearsight Analytics. The Stanley Cup champion, Florida Panthers, they lost their first game to the Flyers yesterday. Bobrovsky was not in the net, but he's clearly picked up where he's left off. And Florida's not supposed to look this good without their captain or their grittiest player in Matthew Tkachuk. So what do you see out of goalie Bob?
Well, goalie Bob, I think he plays in the environment that's best for him. And I think that Florida plays this game style that's best for them offensively, too. I feel like they have the best understanding of where offense comes from, and they also have the best understanding of where the strengths of their goalies are and how to protect them. When I see them play odd man rushes, and I'm going to use this example because it worked for us when I worked at Quinnipiac my first year retirement. We gave up 2-on-1 after 2-on-1 in games and in practices. And we're about a week into the season. The assistant coach and I are having a meeting about what's best for the goalie. How can we work with our defensemen? We took a magic marker on the ice during practice and just drew a line right through the slot. And we told the defensemen, tomorrow in practice, nobody is going to cross that line, not with the puck as a carrier or a pass. On all of our odd man rushes, we're going to do 2-on-1s, we're going to do 3-on-2s. Sure enough, the next day in practice, the forwards don't score. There was a clear expectation for the defenseman. The goalie knew what his role was. And the way that we used it as far as terminology was the defenseman bought into this idea that was their net. That line was their net. And if it goes in their net, it will end up in the goaltender's net. And they won a national championship, I think, on the bones of that a few years later, 2 or 3 years later. But that's what I see when I watch the Florida Panthers play. They look at how far Bob is able to come out on an odd man rush. Now, he can get away with it a little bit because he's such a great backward skater, but he comes out into the white ice and then has that big form because he's able to understand that his backside is covered. Offensively, the best team in the NHL, again, not to beat this drum again, but in unsettled offense, it's Florida. They're the best on the forecheck. They create the most back-checking chances. They also have the best giveaways and takeaways that lead to scoring. And surprisingly, it's early in the season, but the Rangers are there. They're third, excuse me. But, it's the Florida recipe, I think, is just showing up again, and it's consistently been there now for 4 years.
Looking around at the high end of goaltending, obviously Bob off to yet another good start. Shesterkin has allowed 2 goals in 3 games, a .976 save percentage. Is he just head and shoulders the best goalie in the league?
Well, you're going to be surprised. He's playing his best, Bourne, but it's really the same conversation as what Bob's been experiencing. I have Shesterkin's numbers in front of me because I'm covering the game tonight, and it's a big part of our pregame. I don't have Bob's. I know Bob's are just as good, but this is what it sounds like when you're playing really good team defense. Now, he's had 3 starts, okay? And he has faced 36 clear-sighted shots that he's had no screen on. He's got clear view on it for more than half of a second. Of course, he hasn't been beaten. He's only faced 9 one-timers. Now, you know what a one-timer's like. You've got to really come off a breakdown most cases. You've got to have time and space to get your one-timer off. He's faced 9 one-timers, no goals against. He's only had 5 screens. The Rangers have cleared in front of him. Yeah, exactly. I know you're surprised, so am I. 5 rebounds is all he's had to face, and this is the most important number out of all of them. Back to that pass going across the ice east to west, he's only faced 2. He was facing over 3 a game last year.
Wow.
Right? So for whatever it's worth, the Rangers have really tightened up. They got embarrassed on Tuesday at home against Pittsburgh, and then they came back with defensive performances in the next 3 games. They've played 4 games. They're 2-2, but their goalies have only allowed 3 goals. They're defending really well. I've been very surprised and pleased, because you know what? It's no fun covering a loser.
Yeah, we haven't had to figure that out yet, but we'll see.
One goalie we got to mention is Vasilevsky in Tampa Bay, because everybody assumes that they're going to be right there in the thick of things in the Atlantic, along with Florida. And, you know, we're not sure where Toronto or Ottawa are at the moment. But, like, a couple of games where you thought they could blow it here. 2 goal leads they blew against Ottawa. Vasilevsky. Usually that just gets shut down by a goalie of that stature. I don't know how far back. Do you have to just go back with Vasilevsky to his surgery, his back, pre-back issues, post-back issues? Why is he very human these days?
You know, it's interesting, Kyper, because I was watching his game the other night, and he was upright in his stance, like way too much. Now, you're not big when you do that because your height is outside the net. The vertical angle the puck has to travel to get underneath the crossbar, it's at his belly button when he's at the top of the crease. That's with his height. I know it. I did it myself. I've done the exercise. So he's outside of his crease, and he's standing straight up and down on rush plays when they're approaching him. Now, there's a bit of a benefit because your feet are under you, so you can really get your edges well and move laterally quite easily. But his height is out of the net. And what's more important and problematic is it brings your head further away from the puck. So you don't see it as well, and you're not as connected. And he's losing his net. Some of the goals that I covered and looked at this morning, he was really off, you know. And when players are coming downhill, like if a right-handed shooter is coming downhill on the right side of the ice, as a goalie, you have to let them get ahead of you. You let them get ahead of you, and then as they're clamping down on the puck, you then get into your set, and then you're going to be square in the middle of the net. Well, he was letting those guys get ahead, and then he took off. Like out of nowhere, he got ahead. And the pucks were going blocker side on him on shots from the right side of the ice that he was opening a window for. He just doesn't look like himself, but I think that a lot of his approach looks too high. And I wonder if he's so high in his stance because it alleviates a lot of pressure in his lower back.
Interesting. I did want to give you credit for something before we, while we had you on. Jack Greaves, hot start.
Told you, the guy's legit.
He's legit.
The guy's legit.
2 good starts already under his belt.
No, that's why I think that Columbus has a shot. I think they have a shot. And you know what it did too to Merzlikins? Put a little bit of a fire under him.
Yeah.
Too. He's playing a little bit better. Like Merzlikins for the last couple of years, he's really hurt Columbus. He's got one of the bigger contracts in the NHL and hasn't played close to up to it. But with Jack Greaves there, we're probably going to see something like Wolf Vladar happen there.
Yeah.
And at some point, Greaves takes over, and we're going to be hearing a lot about this guy. I think it's a shoo-in. Hey, boys.
Yep. Is it time?
We've got Grill the Panel.
All right. Yeah, that's right.
All right.
These are great.
I think you guys are onto this a little bit because you've talked about it a little bit. And when the media guides came out this year, we've got the heaviest team. We've got the tallest team. What team in the NHL do you think is the heaviest on opening night? What team was the heaviest? Was it the Rangers, Leafs, LA Kings, or Boston Bruins?
I'll go Leafs.
Yeah,
Leafs.
we've had the Leafs as
Leafs.
a discussion here. Yeah.
All right, that's why it was a 1 point.
Freebie. Thanks for the freebie. We'll take it.
All right, oldest opening night roster. Was it Colorado, Winnipeg, Vegas, or Florida?
Really? I thought it would be Pittsburgh, but I guess they got a lot of young guys.
I thought, yeah,
I say Vegas.
Nashville ain't in there.
Nashville's not in there.
Wow.
Vegas for me.
I guess I'll take Colorado.
What am I left with?
You're left with.
I'm not picking one of theirs.
You're left with.
You said Colorado and Vegas.
Winnipeg, and you're
Winnipeg.
left with Florida.
I'll go Winnipeg.
It is Winnipeg.
Yeah.
Kipper's getting a steak dinner.
God.
All right. What opening night roster had the most Canadians on it? I'm not going to give you a multiple choice. What opening night roster had the most Canadians on it?
Panthers.
I can think of a few. I'm gonna go Vegas.
Yeah, I would have gone Panthers too. But I'll go. God, I don't. Winnipeg.
Seattle had 16.
Is that right?
Seattle.
Yeah.
Wasn't it a thing?
Yeah.
Why do they suck so
McLean
bad?
made a big deal that Canucks had 0 Canadians on their team at one point a year ago or something. So
Yeah. I
not
love
Vancouver.
that. That was funny. He got in trouble for that though, right?
Oh yeah.
All right, are you keeping tabs on our
I'm
scores?
keeping score.
What's the score?
I don't have it in front of me right now.
Oh,
Got right
All
from
right,
Clearside
all right.
Analytics.
bring it.
Expected points per panel grilling.
Oh.
Eight games on tap tonight, including your Rangers and the Oilers. Have a great call,
Ooh.
Valley.
Oh, thanks, fellas. It's going to be a good game. I'm looking forward to it.
Good one. Thanks
As
for your time,
always,
man.
appreciate you on
you,
this
boys.
show. That is Steve Valiquette,
Seattle.
CEO of Clearsight Analytics. See,
Doesn't look great.
They got all the bad ones.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, it's not great.
that Wolf stat where I think he mentioned the first 15, 20 games
That was a
where he
great
played
stat.
like only 4 playoff
These sort of
games.
things are such important context. He's playing
Yes.
lesser opponents. That matters.
Then warms them up, and then you can play better against the good ones once
Sure.
you've had some
Well,
tests against
you-
worse ones.
Certainly gained his confidence, that's for sure.
Yeah.
We should probably hit a break and then come back. And you want to talk Sabres when we come back?
Yeah, we do, for sure.
Ugh.
The Buffalo Sabres. Some of the social media went viral there
Oh,
on the fans leaving the building the other
my
day, screaming for scoring a goal.
I still like
The
Buffalo.
injuries.
Not as a team, not as
Oh!
a team this year. I just want that city
Oh,
to have
well,
a
yeah,
team.
of course.
I like the vibe of
All right.
Buffalo.
When we return, a deeper discussion on the Buffalo Sabres. And of course, at the top of the hour, we go Real Kyper and Bourne Leaf edition. Plenty more, so stick around. Back after these words. As a reminder, this hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. He's only 10 seconds. You didn't hear that?
No,
Oh.
I didn't hear that. I was
Okay.
just like,
Yeah,
listen. I like
But
our.
that's good. You're producing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do like her song. So I was like, oh. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
I was just saying to Sammy,
Yes.
do you need to say like anything? Am I interrupting you by just launching into this random tidbit?
That's 365.
Buddy, listen. If we worried about stepping over each other, this show would have been it would have blown up a long time ago.
All right.
As a reminder, this hour of Real Kyper and Bourne is brought to you by Bet365.
They all are.
I just said that.
Okay. I was telling him the worst plus minus players in the league right now.
Yeah.
Shocking. And also completely not shocking. At -8, clocking in is Sam Bennett. Team is 3-1. He's -8 somehow.
He was brutal plus minus in the regular season last year,
How
too.
the heck
Remember?
did that happen?
Listen, I'll tell you how.
How?
He's not playing behind Barkov.
He's
Barkov
taking
saw
on too
all
much.
the top players.
It's true.
And I
Yeah.
like Sam Bennett.
Of course.
But Sam's now in a world he's never seen before.
Yeah. Bizarre. Number 2, Nikita Kucherov, -7. What is going on in Florida? That's very strange for two teams that
Yeah.
are quite good. And then the most predictable is the tied at third for the worst plus minus is the pair. I don't even know if they're a pair. Brian Dumoulin and Cody Ceci, both signed by the LA Kings in the offseason.
How much do they make
-5
combined?
and -5.
How much do they make combined?
I don't know.
They're like
Much.
$3-4 million players, were they not? Take a quick peek. I'm
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, Brian Dumoulin.
The bottom. All right, and then we'll take the positive note.
listen.
Nathan McKinnon's +6.
I know we're
with
going to
Natchez.
get into the Buffalo Sabres as we teed up before the
Okay.
break, but
Dumoulin's first is 4 years.
yeah,
Sorry, $4 million for 3 years.
Yeah.
First year of that, and then I'm looking up CC. I think CC was 4.5. If I remember
8.5
correctly.
million. -5. Hot start.
4.5.
oh wow.
First one
Who
year
could've-
of 104.
Who could have possibly seen that coming?
All of us.
I know there's a ton of concerns on the Buffalo Sabres, but I'm not sure where LA's going.
I don't either.
the
And
body.
I really, really don't like before the season started, such a focus on Kopitar being this last season. How can it not take a little bit of the edge off on an urgency to win?
I don't know. Yeah,
It tones it down for me.
but like they've walked theirs repeatedly,
Yeah.
and so to me, it's like they need to like come back with reinforcements.
How
I'm not-
about CC?
I'm not sure that they did that. So
Yeah.
And on top of that, you go out and you get Ken Holland, who is win now mode.
yeah, of course,
Right?
He doesn't want to do a whole rebuild. They're
How
not.
do you win
bad.
now?
There's talent there.
How do you win now?
They're just not going to.
Start the Kempe to the Leafs rumors, boys. Let's go.
Their number one centerman is still Kopitar. I get Byfield. I get it. But the identity and the face and the field
Mhm.
is your number one centerman is saying goodbye. I'm going to retire.
Yeah, they're 1-2-1 through 4 games. Yeah, it's not great.
Okay. The Buffalo Sabres.
Did you want to play this incredibly depressing Lindy Ruff clip? This is after their loss to the Bruins.
Love Lindy deserves
So
better.
they lost 3 to start the season. But yesterday they lost to Colorado, but on Saturday they lost to the Bruins. And this was after the Saturday game. If we get Lindy Ruff clip one.
I thought our compete was terrible. Worst compete and skating, moving the feet that I've seen.
How does your team need
Change
to?
anything. You got to compete. It's not the guy that has the puck; it's the guy from away from it. I thought we played some one-on-one hockey. We didn't move our feet. We didn't win races for the puck. You know, at the start of a game when everybody has energy, it's hard hockey, and we lost the battle.
Game 2.
It's
suck.
oh man, it's I do this thing where I look at their D and I'm like, there's no way a D-core of Darlene, Byram, Power,
Connor Timmins.
Anderson, like these guys can be bad. And then I look up front and I'm like, God, it's Thompson, Tuck, and I don't know,
Their second line is
Mike Benson.
Zucker, Ryan McLeod, and Josh Doan.
Yeah,
which
like
all
Doan's out there when they need a goal in the final minute.
all fine NHL players, but as your second line in the National
Mid.
Hockey League, it's
Fourth line of Josh
How
Dunn,
is it
Tyler
still
Kozak,
like
Beck
this?
Mallenstein.
Can I tell you maybe one of the I don't want to say worst trades in NHL history, but as far as the most head scratching kind of big field trade over the last, I don't know, I've been around a lot longer than you guys. 20, 30, 40 years. Josh Norris. I'm sorry.
Oh boy,
But like you have Dylan Cousins,
a 24-year-old centerman.
not only 24, locked in at 7-1 and legit all day long, top 6 forward. Second, at worst, second line centerman.
Mm-hmm.
And you trade him for a guy who has shoulder issues, multiple, and everybody's talking about Josh Norris, but if he gets hurt, okay, but he's injury prone. Okay, no, they're more comfortable. They must know more. And the guy comes and last week falls awkwardly, and now once again contemplating surgery again.
Jeez.
Like that cannot happen. That's a 5 to 10 year setback. One of the I don't want to say dumbest, but it's in the ballpark.
I'll say it.
But it's in the ballpark.
You don't have to say it.
Okay,
I'll say
because
it.
I don't know. I mean, Josh Norris could, knock on wood, the guy can come back still and maybe salvage his career, but you had no business risking Dylan Cousins as one of your top assets for a huge question mark.
Totally. How do you look at your team that was struggling and make Cousins the guy who you think is the problem? Like, maybe he's not what you hoped he would be, but he's as you mentioned, he's a very real, productive, helpful guy. Do you remember the video? There's an actual video of Buffalo deciding to make that trade. Have you seen it?
I watched it for the
You
first
told
time
me
this
about
week.
it.
Yeah. And so they're sitting around the table, and Kevin Adams is going, whatever, thinking about we're going to do this deal for Norris or whatever. Is there any sort of objections? There's not a peep. And Adams says something like, our doctor says it's okay. And my thought was, or my doctor's comfortable with it. My thought was, is that the same doctor that wouldn't let Eichel get his neck, surgery?
Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the same one that cost you Eichel too?
If it is, then
It can't be.
Then
It can't.
I mean,
It can't.
this doctor's like just cost the Buffalo Sabres mightily.
The biggest difference, like you mentioned, Cousins may not be perfect, right? Like I don't think
No,
he hasn't
not.
exactly lit the world on fire since he's gone there. But you look at his NHL career in the shortened 2021-20 season, he was 41 games, 79 games, 81 games, 79 games, 82 last year. Plays every night.
He's
always there.
at the time he was 23 years old at the trade.
6'3", 205, center.
Okay.
And he gets you, 40
didn't-
points?
Okay, here's the. It's
His
hard.
career high
Listen,
is
I don't want to
68.
beat up on Kevin Adams. I don't. I take no pleasure in it. Trust me. But like, your organization was missing the playoffs for the 14th time.
Mhm.
Okay. Why did you need to trade him? Why would you go into the latter part of the season and trade this guy? Why wouldn't you take him to the summer and invite 20 teams and drive his price up? Why would you
Great point.
keep it to Ottawa and a few contending teams? Anybody, even outside the playoffs, would have looked at Dylan Cousins and you would have brought his value way up. I'm reading what the trade was. Not only did they give up Dylan Cousins for a guy that had a bad shoulder, they gave up a second round pick.
With him.
A second.
Yeah, too. Yeah.
Like that's like
Hold on.
Like
and,
the hot
and-
fudge isn't good enough? You want to pour
Sprinkles?
caramel on it now?
Yeah, it's ugly.
It's ugly.
Ugly.
And then, if I'm not mistaken, is Bernard Docker in the trade as well?
He is.
And then they didn't qualify him. They traded for Bernard Docker, and then they didn't even qualify him. They didn't bother hanging on to him. Why get him in the trade?
Guaranteed. Guaranteed.
Didn't look bad on the Red Wings, by the way.
Two
Bernard
grade
Docker.
A pieces, if not three, at in the summer at the draft. You would have ended up with a first rounder. You could have ended up with a quality grade A or two quality grade A prospects.
But I think they didn't want to talk about the future anymore. They wanted a current guy who could score in the league, and they thought maybe Norris is it. Maybe we're buying low on a guy who's going to get
With a
healthy.
bad shoulder.
Ugh.
This is
Same way he blew
this
out
is-
shoulder
this is-
before, too.
this isn't going to turn around anytime soon, unfortunately.
Oh, boy.
All right.
NHL hour's over.
NHL hour's over,
It's uplifting Leaf Hour coming up.
Uplifting
including
Leaf Hour.
Justin Bourne, who's questioning whether the Leafs look like they have a coach or not.
That's fine. I tweeted it.
Let's
Oh, you did?
get into that. I read it, man. I'm like, whoa. That is our Leaf edition coming up on the Real Kyper and Bourne Show. Welcome in studio. It's the real Kyper and Bourne show. It is our Leaf Hour edition. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee, Jen Rolnick, Derek Brandeo. We're live on Sportsnet 360, Sportsnet 590, The Fan, streaming always on Sportsnet Plus. And if you don't catch our show live, you can always download it on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and YouTube. This hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. Leafs lose both games on a home to the Detroit Red Wings. They drop to 1-2 as they get ready to face the Nashville Predators tonight. And for those of you that did not watch in our first hour, Sammy was seen on national television with this look right here. This was taken in the last minute of the Leaf game.
Yeah.
Where Sammy's just blown away.
I will say, so I didn't, as you can tell in that photo, I was pretty locked into the baseball game. I wasn't on my phone.
Thrilled.
I wasn't on my phone a ton. And I pulled out my phone, I guess, after it was Addison Barge who eventually struck out there. Or maybe he walked and the next guy struck out, whatever happened. And I hadn't pulled my phone out in, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. And I looked at it, and I've never seen anything like that.
You know immediately that
Well, no,
you
I
had
was
been
just
on
like,
camera or something?
what the hell is
Yeah.
like? Because it's always on silent, doesn't make a sound ever.
Yeah.
Like it just, I conservatively, boys, 300 messages.
It's
like text,
is it-
Instagram, Twitter, everything.
it's way too early in the Leaf season to feel that way about back-to-back losses against Detroit for you?
I don't know. I don't know anymore. I don't know. I
Good thing I do.
want to say that I'm not worried, but I am. That's
Okay.
just me.
Can you you had a lot to say on your tweet.
Not really.
Can you read it for us, or you
I
want me
can
to read
tell
it?
you, yeah. They
Okay.
said that they looked like if you threw a team over the boards
Yeah.
and there was no coach, like just
Yeah.
this was the roster, this is the results you would get. They have the second highest expected goals according to Sport Logic, and the third worst expected goals according to the Sport Logic. So that's high danger, chaos. It looks like a team that's just kind of doing what they want to do. Hold on. Kip is very obsessed
The
with the idea
Leafs
that I said
basically looked like a team if they had
hadn't
never been coached. I can't think
And the
of
next
a
line is-
worse compliment.
And the next line is not to say that they're not being coached, but it's mayhem. What
I
if
don't
that is
care
an
about the not
untruth?
being coached. No. I'm like, I don't disagree with
That's
you.
how it looks.
I know.
It
I
looks
know, but
bad.
that's a
Kip.
problem for Berube.
Yeah, a big one.
You look like you don't coach the team.
Well, it looks like the team is not playing in structure. The breakouts are
How can that
non-existent.
be?
You know what it looks like? The D, they're so obsessed with this, like, go forward, go forward, go forward. You got Chris Tanev rimming pucks around. He's 35. Has he ever just been a rim it around the boards guy? It just, they can't make three straight passes. And for the record, I actually feel okay about the Leafs, and I'm going to say positive stuff about where they're at. They just have no chemistry right now, and it looks bad. Hold on.
I
Have
can't
Leafs
agree.
fans at home right
Yeah.
now? Are they going, what is he talking
Yeah,
about? It's
no,
been really
no.
good.
Can I say like some of those stats that you bring up,
Yeah.
like the expected goals for, expected goals against? Second half of the game against the Red Wings, first one Saturday night, filled in. Like,
The second two periods.
yeah, that's what second half of the game,
Yeah.
but like second two periods, but like most of the second half of the game filled in.
Yeah.
And then the last two periods of the Red Wings game yesterday, as dominant a performance as you're going to see from a hockey team without shooting the puck in the net. Lots of feelers to start, like
Yeah,
you
I
said.
don't, I don't disagree. The
but, like-
analytics don't tell you that.
But like
They don't.
So, but
The analytics say you got filled in for 3 periods.
Was that in the first game that they lost?
No, I'm sorry. In last night.
Oh,
Last-
no.
last-
No, last
Oh, you're talking
la-
about the first game.
So what I'm saying is, with such a small sample size for expected goals for and against, it's 3 games.
It checks
One of
out.
them they got filled in.
Yeah.
One of
Yeah.
them they did the filling in, and the
Yeah.
first game was brutal.
Yeah.
So like I think it's a small sample size
Totally.
at this point of those two stats. Like yesterday was incredibly encouraging after what I watched on Saturday night.
Yeah.
Saturday night shook me to my core.
See, I disagree. I didn't like anything about yesterday, really.
What?
Why?
They had the
What-
puck
what?
the whole hockey game.
The Leafs?
Yes.
But I saw a horrible game from both sides.
It was a bad game.
Okay.
No
it
doubt.
was Okay, we'll get into it more. Let's go to Craig Berube on his overview. Clip 1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good solid 60 minutes, in my opinion. Thought we controlled the play. Plenty of opportunities to score. Didn't go in enough. I mean, that's the bottom line. And, you know, probably shouldn't have gave up the 2-on-1 goal.
Okay. I still see a team that
thrilling stuff there.
doesn't still spends too much time in their own zone. I see a team that doesn't have the puck that often.
You see that yesterday, Kyper? Are we watching the same game?
Yeah. No, I did not like. I still in 3 games. I think they could be easily 0-3.
I mean,
Even the first game
sure,
against
like,
Montreal.
I'm not going to argue that because they're 1 and 2 and they snapped by Montreal. But yesterday, the puck in ozone time was 22-16 for the Leafs, so they carried the bulk of the play, and they just, I mean, some of these numbers: 20-5 in slot shots, 31-12 in slot driving plays. Like I'm not saying that the Leafs are good or have.
No.
I'm saying
for
that
sure.
was a better game.
And listen,
Red Wings were awful.
They're not as bad as that, what we've seen so far, and they may not be as good as we think they are, but there's something in the middle here that they can drive to another level here. But, you know, we're just listening to Craig Berube about he liked a lot of things, and then when the game is on the line at its most critical time, Morgan decides to go and try to score the game-winning goal under a minute. And, you know, whether or not you think that's a good decision or not, I'm okay with having that. But what has to happen is that you have to have at least 1 or 2 other guys to identify that Morgan's in deep, and you got to cover his ass.
Mm-hmm.
And go watch the game-winning goal. And I know we'll get into Willie here, but go watch Willie on the game-winning goal. He is the third guy high.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's
Willie.
If it's and it's Mason Appleton, who's 5 feet behind Willie and blows by Willie like he's the Statue of Liberty for a 2-on-1.
So this is before the icing.
This is before the icing.
Okay. Yeah.
Like, can't have that.
No.
You can't win. It doesn't look like you care.
This is what I mean about, like, looking uncoached. Like, of course you're backing out in a tie game in the final, you know. Like, that's, of course.
Did you see it?
I mean, I haven't seen it. I've seen the in-zone play.
And Willie's out there. Willie just changed. He's out there 15 seconds, and his back check looks like he's been out there for a minute and a half.
Yeah.
And
I mean,
there's
for the record, I have seen it. I know what you're talking about.
There's no excuse for it.
Yeah. Yeah,
Right?
no, it's not. And he's on Willie today and in the post game and saying we need more. And I think Willie hadn't had a 5-on-5 shot or maybe one until this, like, the third period of game 2. Like, he's not looked overly.
It's only been 3 games.
That honestly was. Do you want to listen to? Okay, so there's a bunch of different clips.
Okay.
But this is the first one from after the game yesterday. Let's do Berube needing clip 3, please, Derek.
Willie needs more shots. You know, he doesn't have enough shots. I think in Detroit didn't have any, had 1 or 2 tonight. We need to get him more. He needs to attack more, needs to shoot more. He's got to get on the inside more, like things like that. So, yes, we do need more to him.
They just need a back check.
Yeah.
I mean, I got to tell you, like, I'm not going to sit here and talk about the back checks of Willie Nylander. Like, I mean, that's always going to be something that's going to leave you wanting. You're going to need 40 to enter the net the other way, and it just hasn't looked like he's been threatening for most of the season.
Mm-hmm.
That, I mean, it's 3 games, but what's the Willie moment where you've been like, wow, what a.
No, there isn't one, but I think, you know, I no other hockey player would you ever just say, well, you're not going to worry about his back checks.
Yeah.
What's it even matter? It's like, it matters.
I know it does.
I'm with him.
I know.
Totally with him. Like, I don't want to hear that he needs more shots. I want to hear that if he doesn't back check, I'm not putting him out there. That's what I want to hear. That's where it starts.
Okay.
Everything else is, I don't care. I don't care. If you can't do that, then you can't do anything else for us. We'll never win.
Yeah. So this is kind of, you know, to go back to coaching stuff, last year, were there any instances where someone sat on the bench for a period, a game, who was a top guy based on performance? I mean, I'm asking sincerely, was there any instances? Can you think of a game?
No,
You
I
know,
don't remember anything.
And I talked to some other great coaches, and it's the one tool you wield with these guys is ice time and
Yeah.
opportunity, and it's never been wielded. The end of the game, or late, they're like, get Willie out there with Austin to see if they can get something going.
And all of it is fine, but what we can't do as broadcasters or media is keep falling into the same Willie is just Willie. Okay? It's like it's got to stop, Sam.
I mean,
It's got to stop.
it's year 9
Yeah.
and it's never changed. So
Yeah.
I mean,
then
and
the,
he's
the,
just
out-
he
the
signed
outcome will never
an
change.
yeah, I mean,
The
you're
outcome will never change.
listen, you're probably right. Like I'd be hard to sit here and argue the other side of that, Kipper. We're being like,
Yeah.
you know what? If Willie turns into a great defensive player, the Leafs will win the cup. Like, yeah, sure,
Like
maybe.
they want Willie to be more of a leader. Yeah, of course. And you have the capabilities of being that guy, but you can't be a leader on that last play of the game.
No.
You can't.
The one thing I'll say about this team, just so it's not, because I'm not going to hit all the negatives today, is that they're 1-2 at this point, and they haven't got output from no goals from Matthews on a goalie, no goals from Nylander on a goalie, no goals from Tavares on a goalie,
Yeah.
1 goal from Nyes. So there's your 4 top scoring guys who have 1 goal so far. That's not going to happen this year. They're not, if we were sitting here right now and Matthews had 6 goals and, the combined, and they're still 1-2, we're going, that's their fastball.
Yeah.
But they haven't thrown their fastball yet. They haven't found their
Yeah.
zone. But there's some real chemistry issues, and they're going to get there. But right now, it's messy. It's really messy.
Yeah. There is a concern for where all the goals are going to come from.
Yeah. Well, and like I
Well,
said,
the
these guys are
that he
not
just
getting
said it. The guys that he
Yeah.
just said, those 4 guys that make a lot of money and that are always have shot.
It's
in the
not.
net.
It won't be enough. It won't be enough.
I don't know about that. Yeah. I don't
It
know.
won't be enough.
Okay.
Because
it won't be enough for what?
To
To get in
get them to the
playoffs
next
or to
level.
win the
Yeah,
cup?
yeah, to go deep, to conference finals, to Stanley Cup final, to win in the Stanley Cup. It won't be enough. It
Yeah.
won't be enough. It was in a Tavares had 37 or 38 last year, right? It won't be enough. There needs to be more goals coming from 12 guys. I don't know. I mean, do you see Nick Waugh scoring 20 goals this year?
Yeah. Not out of the question.
If he plays more than 10 minutes a night, he might.
Yeah. I'd like to see him on the ice. He's doing
Why
great.
does he only play 10 minutes a night, 12 minutes a night?
That's unclear. I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Because I thought he's been the most effective new player by a good distance.
I thought he was a better skater than what I've seen so far.
I've really liked him.
Yeah.
Smart,
Yeah.
heavy, finishes checks,
Yeah.
hands. I don't know. And maybe I didn't know that you thought that he was fast. I'm not.
I thought he was a little faster.
Yeah.
But
So you don't think he can score 20 goals?
Well, I don't know. I mean, what's the most he scored? 14, 15 in Vegas. But to Sam's point, does Brube think he's not quick enough to warrant 15 minutes, 17 minutes? There's some nights I guess he will, but
He averaged 15 every year in the NHL,
Yeah.
well, with the top team in the Pacific,
Yeah.
So he's not a bum.
What's the overarching thought here, Kipper?
Yeah.
Like, you're saying a lot of things that's sort of leading towards what?
Like they need to trade people where
there's going to be some challenges here. And one of them is, for me now, is creating offense. And we just had Valley on our first. We talked a little bit about being a little bit more dangerous, not spending so much time, I think, staring down at a goalie. And Austin, I think it's a good sign that he's more comfortable now getting pucks to the net, right? Shooting.
I thought he was really good yesterday. Really good. And they didn't enter it. He's paid money to shoot the puck in the net, but
Yeah.
I thought yesterday he would look like
Better, much better.
close to vintage Matthews, if I would say.
I'm not there on vintage.
Vintage
I'll say
3
this.
would have gone in.
He looked like vintage Matthews, but Matthews 2 years ago, that's many goals ago
Yeah.
in that game.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's why I said close to it.
Right, for
Yeah.
sure. But now I will say, like, Florida Panthers last year, and that's not who Toronto is. But they're 15th in goals for last year going into the playoffs.
Yeah.
The Leafs, as they're currently constructed, they can score enough.
So they're going to do it with Stolars and shutting down.
Well, I'm not saying that they are the best team in the NHL who's going to win the Stanley Cup. They have challenges.
Yeah.
I don't know that I'm as concerned about the offense because these guys haven't scored yet, and they're still scoring 3.5 goals a game or whatever so far.
Positives, Matthew Nyes looks like by far the best forechecker that the Leafs have. He can be ferocious. He can be down low. The setup on the goal was, to me, a incredibly powerful kind of look to Matthew Nyes.
Mm-hmm.
So good on Matthew Nyes. Easton Cowan, I know a lot of people want to jump to conclusions after that game that he's ready for the challenges of being riding shotgun with Austin Matthews. For me, it's a little early to go there, but you gotta have something to write about.
It's very Toronto market. Like nothing can ever just be. There's some pros and cons, and this is good and bad or whatever. Like the Cowan was great. Maybe that's a strong word. Yeah.
I thought he was awesome.
One game, really good. Yeah. He made that nice backhand sauce to Matthews for the breakaway. Made a really great play, a little slip to him, 6-on-5. Made a few defensive zone blunders, looked out muscle here and there too. Like, I think he's good, and I think he looks great, and he should be in that spot again tonight and for the foreseeable future here. But
okay, want to play Chief on Cowan yesterday? Clip 2.
Yeah, I just thought 5-foot plays all over the ice. He made a lot of them to him. He was very good on a forward check. He's got a great hockey IQ.
And, dare I say it, he's got a really good engine.
Yep. Yeah, he does, and swagger for days. The kid saying I wasn't nervous, it was just another game. By the way, it bothers me 1%.
I hate that.
Because it's like, it's not just another game. And it shouldn't be just another game. It's your first game in the NHL for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's, But great that he's got that mentality, I guess. I don't know. It seems like a good thing. He played great. Wasn't nervous.
Yeah. Kids these days.
Here's my negative Nelly time. Oh, what does it say about the roster construction of the Toronto Maple Leafs right now that this is a guy that we were talking about? How are they going to get him in the lineup? How are they going to get him in the lineup? And then we're seeing a practice on Sunday morning of him skating on the top line and then him going out there and being like, was it 15 minutes that he played yesterday? 14, 15 minutes that he played yesterday? Like, that's the dice move, is put the rookie on the top line of the Toronto Maple Leafs to play with Austin Matthews. There's a picture of him wearing like a Marner, or like on the glass looking at Marner when he's like a little kid. And he's literally just like, you're replacing him now. You're going in there. It just feels like such a detriment to the roster construction of the Leafs that they have to go to this right away. That it's the third game. And they're like, Cowan top line. Sure. But like that part was he's on there at 6-on-5.
He's one of their few guys who can create.
That's what, like, if I'm going to have a conversation about what worries me, it's that he can look great in his NHL debut. You're horned up. You're ready to go. You're excited. Talk to me in December. Mm-hmm. When it's like the 6th game in 10 nights and you're like on the road and you're trying to go up against these grown men. You're like, oh my God, like this is a real, they need somebody else to take that spot. I love it for now, but they needed somebody else.
Who?
That is my point.
Who? Are you an owl? Who?
Domi. It's got to be Domi.
I'm going to say the Leafs finished top 10 in scoring this year in offense. It'll be 9th or something like that. But I do think there's a lot of chemistry problems. Like that Michelli what have you thought so far?
I see skill.
Yeah, he's made some plays.
I see skill.
Shout out my boy Bunkus. He's past Robertson.
Past Robertson. Yeah. That's very funny.
He's past Robertson.
He might be past Robertson, but Robertson can shoot. Yeah. So that's a compliment to his passing.
It is.
So, I think there's some plays that can be made there. The one guy who kills me is like McMahon gets such a rough ride from Berube. Like, he looks pretty good for a game, and when he's not,
but he does. It's the frustrating part for coaches like Craig or anyone else when they see a guy like Bobby McMahon, it's watching what you're capable of doing and then not seeing it for a week and a half.
Correct. That's the bang on.
But if he could do it all the time,
He'd make $10 million.
he'd make $10 million.
Yeah, exactly.
But
He'd be, I don't know, who's that good?
Yeah, he's Rick Nash.
Who
if he does
can
everything.
you say that about, right?
What's that? Yeah, like be your best guy all the time. And everyone's like, yeah, I'm trying to be.
These kids today, they're all so talented, but it's, can you bring it every night? Like, you know, Dakota Joshua is another guy that he's capable, but the word in Vancouver, he was sleepy. You're waiting for so much more. And the other night we see him knock somebody on their ass, and then Nick Waugh goes down there for a nice scoring opportunity. But, like, you're not seeing it 3 or 4 times a game.
Yeah.
You're seeing it once every 2 games, 3 games. And that's there's a few guys like that.
But to me, Joshua and McMahon are kind of the same in one way, and it's that if you got that good stuff all the time, they'd be $10 million players. But McMahon, when he's not playing, at least he can have those bursts of speed that create something and get it on the forecheck. Joshua, for me,
Which is okay, but when you need it in your top 6, like you can get away with it if you're on the third line. But if you're Bobby McMahon and you're playing top 6 in a contending role, not a startup team.
Yeah, he had like one half a bad game, and he got like completely punted. But I know you're saying that then there's more pressure to do it consistently.
You know,
but what do you think they thought Dakota Joshua was?
I think a big, heavy guy that could play on your checking line.
I think they thought he might be more.
Like
he could slot in on the top 6 here and there.
He could intimidate people, like fight.
Maybe, but like to me, when I look at Joshua, and I think I mentioned Pizzetta the other day at training camp, like, what do you think you were brought in here to do? You're brought in here to run into people and be physical and competitive and give the Leafs that little sleepy's not a great adjective.
I would
know your role.
I would like to calculate the amount of time he's had the puck on his stick this season.
Joshua. And you think what?
It can't be north of 15 seconds.
No.
It's just, he just really feels like he kind of skates to where something's about to happen, and then it kind of happens without him there, and then it's gone the other way. Yeah. Like, it just feels like he's a step behind it. Just the whole team kind of feels a little.
It just feels disjointed. Yeah. It doesn't feel cohesive.
So if a week ago we weren't sure where Easton Cowan was going to fit into the lineup, like, where were we on Kalle Järnkrok?
I mean,
like, this guy's come in and been a bit of a hero for the Leafs.
He's carrying their offense, buddy. He's scored every game.
He's been great. You know, he's been unfortunately hurt a couple times pre-playoffs, and you know, a good Kalle Järnkrok is a nice thing to have for $2 million.
He can become the 4th Maple Leaf player in the expansion era to score a goal in each of the team's first 4 games. Austin Matthews, Clark MacArthur, and John Anderson.
He's the Leafs' Kerfoot right now.
Well, wasn't he already kind of?
No,
Järnfoot was the thing.
Järnfoot.
He was already in that category.
Flex seal.
He is. He is the new
Interchangeable.
flex.
He kills penalties. He's a right shot. He can play up the lineup, down the lineup.
Do you think it's maybe we look back on last year and you see how he looks right now? And I mean, he's obviously shot the puck in the net, but outside of that, he looks a lot more aggressive. He looks faster. Maybe he was a lot more banged up than we thought he was last year. And we kind of had that idea of him that was what he was, but he was just injured. I don't know.
All I know is I can't, like, this Tavares-Nylander combo so far is nothing, right? You're not getting anything from it.
I mean, we've had this conversation every year of our show. They've been doing this every year. We've done a show together, and it's.
But
just,
you know, he's going to throw Willie up with Austin.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Any
you need
time.
to.
And then what's that leave Tavares with?
Well, but Tavares, is he not? Now he's making $4.5 million a year or whatever. Like,
I don't care if he's making 11 or
I'm
4.
saying-
He's your second line centerman who has to produce.
right, but I don't think you're obligated to put him in a position to produce. I mean,
Then
like,
who is going to produce then behind Austin?
well, I mean, Kip, do you want to play this game? Like, McMahon got 20 last year. You know, we got Järnkrok got 20 the year before. Robertson gets
Okay, so you're gonna
15.
piecemeal
Waz
it.
yeah, like
Okay.
there's
like every other team does.
right. Like, it's not common to have 4 superhero offensive guys.
Okay. can John still score 38 goals having Willie bounce around, or is that going to come down now with the $4 million?
Well, it's going to come down with being 34, probably.
Okay.
More than anything else.
All right. But we'd be comfortable with 25 and 65 points out of John?
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Sign me up for that today.
All right. And that includes top 10 still, right, for you in scoring?
Tough,
for the
yes,
Leafs?
absolutely.
With him at 25?
Yeah.
Okay. And is there a power play goal in your top 10?
Well, that's for, this
That's
is
what-
another thing. They haven't scored a power play goal. They're not going to be blanked all year either. Like,
Okay. All right. Are you okay with the power play with Morgan still? And
how would I
you
be
like
okay
it?
with it? What's been good?
Okay.
Can I ask you guys? Can they put somebody on there that can pass?
Yeah.
Like it's every guy
It's not.
wants to shoot. Look at the top unit. It's Riley, who's not the great passer, wants to shoot it from the point. Austin wants to shoot. Willie wants to shoot. Nyes goes to the side of the net. They're setting up the bumper fall away jumper for Tavares. That's like their ideal scenario right now. They need to get Michelli or Domi in there.
That Kawhi mid-range jumper.
They just need. There's no one can pass. They're not. They're just outside. Nothing's in the middle. So I'm no
It's-
expert, but get a
it's-
guy who passes it.
It's an issue.
Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Care to elaborate?
I don't know who the playmaker is.
That's it.
Okay. I don't see one.
Yeah, I mean, Domi and Michelli are your passers on the team. Cowan
There's
is a
no
playmaker.
place like you still got, I don't know, $40-50 million on a, they don't come off the ice until they either score or it runs out of time. There's no, you got Tavares, you got Nylander, you got Matthews, you got Nyes, and you got Morgan.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all your $40-50 million bucks. Who's coming off the ice for Michelli or Domi?
I think that when you have a coach, you coach, right? Like, you go ahead and you say, hey, we're going to do 2 units, or we're putting out some other look. I am long over your argument about these guys have egos and you have to make sure they're whatever. You're the coach. You tell them when they go on the ice. They're under contract for years and years. And if they're so unhappy with not getting enough ice time, then they can do, what are their options? Coach took me off at 1 minute mark of the power play.
Yeah.
Trade me right now. And then hang up the phone.
I don't know.
Tell them when they're going on.
What do you think? Like, if I'm asking you that, at least power play one goes over the boards, okay?
Yeah.
What are they trying to set up?
That's always a fun game to play. What is the
What's the ideal look?
It's always been the flanks. It's always been Matthews.
If we went through the last 2 years of Leafs offensive power play goals, how many do you think are Matthews one-timers from the flank? It might be
I was gonna say
2.
I was going to say tops 5, it
Yeah.
feels like.
It's not a functional play.
There's
for
no
them.
second or third opportunities. It's Tavares.
That's what it is. It's
Nyes.
pucks through. Nyes and Tavares win pucks in the
Right.
net. That's what they want to do.
And that's when it was going well last year. They were getting into the net, but they had a passer out there. They had Mitch Marner who would filter it towards the net, who would pass it towards the net. So you can't replace him, but try a guy that has a similar skill set that passes it more.
Willie can pass the puck. It's just maybe.
I mean, it's not his first instinct.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
But he maybe needs to toggle the mindset a little bit. But, what's fun now is this is when coaching comes into it too, where you look at a guy, Mark Savard runs it, and you say, okay, it's only been what have they had? Have they had 10 attempts yet? I don't know. So,
Yeah, probably.
yeah. So, about time to go, okay, well, we got to tweak something here. But I am curious to see, to your point, Sammy, if they're all shooters,
Mhm.
how are we going to maximize that? How are we going to utilize that? I think screens and rebounds are the answer.
Yeah.
Pucks through, men in front. Bobby McMahon's a big body. Do you want to get him down there somehow? Riley off, 5 forwards. I don't know. But now it's time to get thinking.
Yeah. You hope it can break open tonight against Nashville, but if it doesn't, then Berube's got to start laying the law down a little bit, to your point.
Yeah. Would you want to hear Berube on the power play?
Sure.
Let's do that. Clip 5, please.
Power play in Detroit, they were shooting and attacking. I thought they did the same tonight. Like I said, that's one area of it that they're doing a good job, but the power play needs to put it in the net.
It does, yeah.
The other thing too,
He's the coach. We play the coach's clips.
whether
Sorry, boys.
whether or not it's power play or 5-on-5, like they got to look hungrier.
Yeah.
There's not enough passion still. There's not enough drive for me so far. I know it's early, but it's kind of, I just think it's going to naturally fall in place. And sometimes you gotta go force things.
Yep, for sure. I didn't like how, you're down, you just lost to Detroit, and all of a sudden you're down in the game or whatever, and they start to play and they play and they play, and it's like, oh, you have the ability to turn it on. Like, it still feels like when they need to try, they will, but not going to try unless they definitely need to, sort of thing.
But
Habits take time to break.
well, it'd be nice if they were broke. But you mentioned the the heart and aggression. That's what you create when you have two units, where internal competition. We've talked about this 100 times. Where that top unit knows we're out here until the last 10 seconds. Like, the second unit, our old Chris Cuthbert drop. It's like the second unit gets a look now. There's 10 seconds left.
Yeah.
They know they don't have to rush anything because they're out there for 1:40. Yeah. If you have two units, a little urgency, you feel like you have to go towards the net more. We've had that.
All right, do we go to break or you?
Yeah. Well, I'll do game time here, and then
Okay.
we can talk about the goaltending for tonight, which is
Yes.
another new adventure. But it's game time, presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus, Ontario only. Please play responsibly. You guys want to do Jays or you guys want to do hockey?
I'll throw in a Jays.
So
in the heat of the playoffs.
Tomorrow night, obviously, everybody knows the stakes. Going to Seattle, Shane Bieber on the mound, going up against George Kirby. Big spot for the new guy, and old Shane Bieber, who didn't do so well in the last Game 3 against the New York Yankees. The Toronto Blue Jays are plus 115 underdogs against the Seattle Mariners, who are minus 135 on the money line. This is one of those games that it's a basement game. It's a dark room game. It's one of those ones that you go and you sweat over. I remember the Jays went down 2-0 10 years ago today, by the way, bat flip. But in that very series, the Jays lost both of the first two games at home to the Texas Rangers in very heartbreaking fashion, including an extra inning game I was at. They went down to Texas on Thanksgiving weekend. I remember watching it I went to 2 playoff games. They won it in my basement with my parents, dark basement game, and they found a way to win that game. Just win on the dark basement
Sounds like
game.
so much fun, eh?
It's a dark
to be
basement.
at your house to watch playoffs.
It's a dark basement game, baby. Just get in a basement, get the lights off, and just grind. It's a big one.
Him talking about a sports viewing experience he enjoyed. Has it ever happened?
No. I the thing is,
Do you have at least snacks?
yeah.
Can you get something out of it?
Yeah. No, I sit there, drink ice water. Just
Raw dogs.
It's a people, sports fans, baseball fans, they know what I'm talking about. It's one you grind over. That's me. But I think the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win tomorrow night.
Good.
And I think the Toronto Blue Jays are going to win 2 in Seattle. I do. I think this team has been going against. Listen,
coming back split.
oh no, because there's
it
three.
three?
There's
It's
3
three?
there. There's
Okay.
3 there.
Okay, it's
This-
2-3-2.
All year long, this team has been, bad. Like, people have been like, they're done. They're not going to be. They've had these amazing comebacks. They got a lot of character in that room. Unlike you, who says they're a bunch of drunks. They're gonna come. They're gonna come back.
I
And
didn't say they're a bunch of drunks. I said they looked like they're kind of emotionally drained.
what I'm saying is, I don't usually have any belief. I'm usually the guy that has zero belief.
Well, and you've had zero belief up till this very moment since
No,
I've been with you
No,
for 3 hours.
Hey, let me tell you. Have I been negative today about the Jays?
Yes.
No, I haven't.
Sam, everything you've said is they're just better.
They are better.
I regret ever believing.
No, I didn't say
I
that.
was silly too. I never believed in the first place.
Whoa, what's happening here? What's going on? The camera
And
shot.
literally at one point said Detroit was our chance.
It was. But that was 3 hours ago, me. Everybody who's listening to this knows the range of emotions you go through. But I think there's a chance that the Jays win a couple in Seattle. I do. I really do. They're a resilient bunch.
Good.
A lot of
All right.
character.
Good.
I do too for
A
what
lot
it's
of
worth.
character. And guess what? If they win one in Seattle, we only have an hour on Friday. So go Jays, go.
Oh, boy.
And that was Game Time presented by Bet365. Visit the app for latest odds and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Must be 19 plus. Ontario only. Please play responsibly.
Poor Bet365. They had to listen to
They were
Sammy.
like, can we get to the part where you say
Needing
our
a
brand
shrink.
again?
Dark rooms. Right?
Okay.
Wonderful experience.
If you're listening, text 59590 about the basement. The dark room basement is the only way to watch this game, and everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, we'll take a quick break. When we return, we get into the goaltending situation. So far, Stolar's been doing his job.
Been very good.
Looked awesome.
But what happens tonight? The new goalie in town. We'll get into that and more when we return to Real Kyper and Bourne. A reminder, this hour, Real Kyper and Bourne, brought to you by Bet365. Nick Kypreos, Justin Bourne, Sammy McKee. Tonight, Caden Primo will start against the Nashville Predators, who had Caden on their bingo card during training camp.
A new adventure tonight.
But I got to tell you guys, I like it.
Okay.
I'm in.
You do like it.
Valley has sold me on Primo. You know what sold me most of all is his terrible position, goaltending environment, Valley called it, when he was in Montreal. So basically using the worst games to be in as a goalie in terms of trying to put up numbers. And then he's been unbelievable in the playoffs. He stole the net in playoffs last year for Laval, took them deep in the postseason. Only 26. He's big. He's pedigree. If not him, then who?
Brube clip 6, please, on Primo.
Great work ethic in practice, and like I said, he's looked really good in practice. Very comfortable and happy to be here. And I think, like I said, all I can go off is practice right now. And we've liked him in practice. His work ethic's been excellent. He's done a good job.
We got Allen Iverson somewhere?
Well, what else do you want?
We're talking about practice.
He's playing a game.
Typical kind of what they look for today, big goalie, right? Big goalie, covers a lot of net. You think coming from an organization like Montreal's to Toronto will help him, kind of
Felt some pressure before.
well, just, these are big markets.
Yeah.
Big markets. Will a big market or at least a media-driven market like Montreal help him with the transition as he comfortably goes behind Stolar's now?
Yeah, I mean, I think it helps that he's been exposed to that sort of media pressure, attention combination. I think it helps that they're putting him in this game. Nashville played last night as well.
They did.
So
They
Nashville-
beat Ottawa.
Nashville on a road back-to-back. You're putting him in a pretty good spot behind 6 veteran NHL defensemen.
Doesn't sound like I haven't heard Nashville. Doesn't sound like Saros is going to go tonight because it's a back-to-back. That can help
Buddy,
him in the Leafs.
they should win tonight. The Leafs.
I'm gonna go.
Nashville's a hardworking team. Like they've got a
probably
lot
underrated.
to prove right now. They were embarrassed, if not humiliated, that they went out and signed all these 30+ something. Like we had Valley ask us who one of the oldest teams was. I thought for sure it was Nashville, hands down, because they're all like 35-year-olds. But they're playing hard. They beat a pretty decent team in Ottawa yesterday.
Tonight, like I'll say, is the biggest must win. It is a must win.
October
Must
14th.
win. Second half of back-to-back against the Nashville Predators with
At
their
home.
backup
Wow.
goalie at home.
Michael Bunting. Gonna get
This
one
is
for
another.
Nashville
This is
tonight.
another niche one for my true Leaf fans out there. This is a vintage Leafs TV night where it's a crappy out of conference opponent coming to the sleepy Scotiabank Arena. 6 guys from Ontario in the lineup. 6 guys.
Hey,
Bunting, Evangelista, Hag, Brady Martin, Ryan O'Reilly, Steven Stamkos.
They're coming.
Only time to Toronto all year.
is this a dark basement game for you?
Okay. I got to tell you, got some dark basement texts if you want to hear them.
Yeah, I want to hear a couple.
Okay. Completely agree, Sammy. It's time to shut out the outside world and watch alone. My friends think I'm crazy. They may be right. Go, Jays, go.
They are.
I sit in my garage and turn on the dark blue lights alone.
Did you put a TV on too?
I hope. I canceled plans tomorrow night so I can watch the game alone in my dark basement. Kyle from Toronto.
Now,
It's a thing.
I want to chime in on one thing.
Okay.
Everyone is too involved. Like my wife is like, when are we watching the game? Like, how are we going to do this? It's like, oh, we're all doing it. My
Yeah.
mom's like, okay, well, I'm going to pop over. We'll catch a game. My son's like,
Jays
I'm going
you're
to stay
talking
up late. Yeah, I'm going to stay up later.
Yeah.
Right, Dad? Like
Yeah.
the Jays are playing. I'm going to stay up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's all. It's
No.
a community thing. I definitely do appreciate
can't
that. Like,
handle-
let me lock in here.
Oh yeah, like I'm not. This is no outside noise game. This is dial.
Nobody's allowed to talk during the game.
Well, the no one I'm with will not talk.
But I will say, no sport sets up drama like baseball.
Yeah.
Nothing can hang with every pitch having that build up. There's
Yeah.
build up and then you wait. Build up, build up, build up. There's nothing like it in any other sport.
And there's only 10. There's 15 minutes every other time where only bad things happen.
Yeah, so
There's no good thing.
Yeah,
It's like, oh,
so
the good
true.
part's done. Now we get to go to the bad part again.
that's great.
One of the strengths for the Leafs going into this season was their veteran depth on the blue line.
Yes.
Okay, so to Valley's point, I would hope that the feeling was we're going to insulate Caden as much as we can here and just play good sound, block our shots, make sure we're in the lanes. But tell me what you've seen in the first 3 games or even coming out of training camp with this group of 6, because it's one of those things where it should be really, truly a strength right now. And
Totally.
I'm not seeing what I saw last year.
There should be chemistry.
First of all, I'm not that comfortable with Morgan Riley and Carlo, which should be your number one pair. And I certainly didn't like what I saw at the end of the game against Detroit.
I think they got to try Riley with Tanev again. I know the results were bad when they played together last year. I'm stealing a lot of things that Anthony Petrilli and I talked about earlier, but that is, I think, a very viable idea. Split up McCabe and Tanev, who kind of are the same thing for you. The other thing with that is that McCabe hasn't been very good for me. Is he for you?
No, I don't see a presence there yet.
Yeah.
Who's played well on the decor? Because I think the bottom pair too has really been. I mean, all of Ekman Larson on his off.
Benoit's struggled for me a little bit too.
Well, that's what I mean. That pair, they put Oliver Ekman-Larsson on the offside to kind of accommodate Benoit. And we had the conversations 100 times over the past few years about how Oliver Ekman-Larsson isn't great on his offside, and he continues to be not great, I don't think, on his offside. So the decor in general
I
has.
got to tell you, though, I love that he's greasy. He's
Me
the
too.
only guy who's like in OEL. He's the only guy after whistles who's got someone by the
attitude.
yeah.
He's got attitude.
Because he played with the Panthers for a year.
Yeah, maybe. There's just no one else who, like, after the whistle is, like, spearing a guy and grabbing him by the collar. And it's like, I kind of like that. Their skill guy.
See the video of Carlo's, like, 2.5 minute shift in Detroit where he just decides to lie down? Did you see
He
that?
tried
I
to block
did, yeah.
a shot, right?
No, he just laid
I
out.
don't think I've ever seen that before. No, but just lie down. I think eventually he's like, that guy's going to try to pass through the crease. So I'll just lie down here for a good half a minute and wait for that to happen. That's what it looked like.
Yeah, because the guy was kind of like on the near boards, and he looked like he was going to pass it into the middle, and he did lie down.
It was kind of strange.
One of the keys to the 2 games with Detroit, I didn't know Patrick Kane was 2014 Patrick Kane all of a sudden.
Boy,
again.
he's still doing shifty stuff out there, hey?
Man,
Yeah.
I'm surprised how good he
Like,
looks.
How good would he
Look on the Leafs.
have helped Bedard the last few years?
Oh,
No
God.
kidding.
Like, why
No kidding.
why would you chase that guy out of town?
I got a question for you. I asked this on Leafs Talk. We were talking about Kane. When you think of like the best hands ever, if you're thinking about guys who've played in the NHL,
Yeah.
Patrick Kane has to be like on the Mount Rushmore of hands, right?
Totally. All hands team. Totally.
Who else do you think of?
Yeah, Datsuk comes to mind.
Yeah,
He was
Kovalev.
Let's
was a
Kovalev.
really good one.
Anyone else that you think of?
You can text us your vote for all hands team. This is a fun conversation. Present day, is Cooch in the mix?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The
Yeah, for
leave
sure.
breakaway he
The
does.
no move?
is super slick.
Yeah,
Austin was there when he was scoring 50, 70 goals.
but he was
60.
never like
No, but it was still
undress
it was hands and then finding the lane and then shooting it.
You know what kills me about the breakaway he has the other day is
Yeah.
like he's wants to use this shot. We know he's got a good shot.
He had the quickest hands.
But he
when he
could
was
have pulled
scoring
that to his
69
backhand.
goals, he had the quickest hands. And even if it's not to get past a guy in the neutral zone 3 times, it was still to get it past, to open up a lane, to shoot it. They were lightning fast, his hands. But I know what you're talking about. You're talking about stick handling, pure stick handling.
He was never a guy that, like, in a phone booth is going to undress you. But I actually think Datsuk has the best hands of all time.
I think so, too.
Kane's a great vote, though.
Yeah, Kane. Yeah. Robbie Schrem.
Looking at this Nashville lineup tonight, their top line right winger is Joachim Kemmel. So in terms of the Leafs having a hole in their top line right wing, I think we've got an equal here. We got Adam Wilsby and Spencer Stastny on D.
Oh,
you know, like my point is,
not a big Wilsby guy.
there's a couple opportunities for the Leafs to outmatch Nashville in terms of who are these guys?
Mary Lemieux, all hands team.
Oh, geez, good one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He had pretty good hands.
They would just,
Dale
he'd
Howard
have that radius of about 8 feet around you. He wouldn't be like super quick and tight. He would just,
Who's the guy?
he'd have that range of like 12 feet around a circle that he could just, you couldn't get the puck. And Yager too.
Who did he get on Minnesota? The one where he goes back.
Neil
Braun? No.
Wilkins.
Oh, is that right?
That's I think maybe the nicest goal.
It's my favorite goal.
Yeah,
Oh my
it
God.
really is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And Darren McCarty had pretty good hands in OT that one time.
Yeah.
Toe dragging in the middle. Anyways, I love that conversation.
Good votes.
McGillney, a lot of texts about McGillney too. Had some sick hands. So there you go.
Yeah, Bure, not bad.
Yeah.
So then we're 3 games in
Yeah.
to the Leaf season, and it's an okay time to have overreacting takes. It is an okay time because we got so little info.
I don't know about a must win. I don't care about the result as much as I need the optics of the game. I have not seen remotely any jam out of this team from top to bottom.
Yeah.
Okay. No jam. I'd like to see some jam.
Yep. Jam would be good. So that list of things you want to see.
Yeah.
Matthews to score on a goalie. Like to see.
Would love
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to see Willie take control of his shifts.
Yeah.
Like he needs to
Well said.
skate like we know that he can, have the puck, pull people. Like that's the other thing too, is like to make plays, you gotta draw people towards you and find an open man.
Totally.
They have not done that yet.
Yep. Totally agree. Michelli has, we talked about he's made some plays and you've seen some like, oh, okay, he can make these passes. He's also had some turnovers, some guessing plays that haven't worked. If you're going to be a skill guy, you can't give him back going the other way. I'd like to see him start to find some
Maybe that
sort
was
of rhythm
part
or
of
chemistry.
being a healthy scratch for 30 games in Utah.
Good chance.
I don't know.
But
The-
he's a young kid that can figure it out with 24 or whatever he is.
the play he made in the first period of the afternoon game where he just put it on Patrick Kane's tape,
Yeah.
trying to make
That
a
was
pass
just a
from
sauce
it's
that
like,
didn't sauce.
But
Still
why-
too risky. Not worth it.
across the front of the net.
Yeah.
Like, anyways, I just a little risky.
That one is okay. I'd like to see Dakota Joshua be a little bit more physical and like to see the D just look solid. That's
If you're gonna if you're shifting your identity to being like the literal biggest and heaviest team in the league, act like it,
yeah.
right? Run into somebody.
Like wear down a decor.
Scrums in front of the net. Like try to be a little greasier if that's going to be your identity. It just feels like the big guys are just not doing anything.
Lean all over him. Let him know you're there.
Lean on him.
I got to think Ruby's giving him that speech tonight.
Yeah, I do too. Like, I will say, because I've tried to look at some of the positives for the expectations for them. If they were to go out and just like roll over tonight and lose one to Nashville at home, that'd be pretty bad.
I need a score then.
Leafs win 5-1.
4-1,
4-1?
yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a tight game. I'll
Okay.
take the Leafs in overtime. 3-2. I think it's going to be tight.
Yeah, Nashville's
I think
making
they're
a
hard
push
work in
to be-
Nashville.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
All
right.
right. Our thanks to Steve Valiquette. Ooh, the baseball guys are coming in.
They're ready to go.
Lucy, you got a lot of explaining to do. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Enjoy your games tonight. We're back tomorrow on The Real Kyper and Bourne Show.